Welcome to Armand Academy. Like and subscribe for more content and drop your doubts in the comments. Share with your friends and classmates. For private tuition in these subjects across all boards and universities, contact me here or the link in the description. Let's get started. An amateur singer has recorded his first music album with a recording company. The demand for his album is given by Q is equal to 40,000 minus 800p, where Q is the number of albums sold and P is the price of each album. Furthermore, per unit cost of producing each album is rupees 8. Profit maximizing recording company. Profit maximizing recording company means they want to maximize profit, which is total revenue minus total cost. Has given the following options to the singer, and we have got different options, and then we have to select the correct answer. Okay, so we have to find out what is the profit maximizing price and accordingly how much quantity. Okay, so we know that total revenue is equal to price into quantity. And as far as total cost is concerned, it will be the number of units into unit cost. Or I could reword this as quantity into unit cost. And since we know the unit cost is 8, I can simply say 8Q. Okay, simply 8Q. Now, as far as uh, total revenue is concerned, we know it is price, which we don't know the value for, into quantity. Okay, and over here, quantity also. Okay, we've got price into quantity, but we know what the value for quantity is. Okay, so instead of writing it as price into quantity, now I'm simply going to open the bracket and write down the value of quantity, which is 40,000 minus 800. Okay, 800p. And now I can further go and say that profit is equal to total revenue, which is price 40,000 minus 800p minus 8q. Okay, but now again, I do not know q, but I have a value for q, which is 40,000 minus 800p. So I can write this as 8 open bracket, 40,000 minus 800p. And notice how we get, okay, how we get p into 40,000 minus 800p. And again, 8, okay, minus, okay, maybe I'll take it on to the next line, minus 8 into 40,000 minus 800p. Okay, now we open the equation where we say 40,000 p minus 800 p square is okay. And then we have minus 8 into 40,000, which is going to be minus 320,000 or 3,20,000, whatever you want. Minus 8, okay, minus is now going to give us plus, and it's going to be 8 into 800, which is 6,400. Okay, 6,400 p, not p, just 6,400. Why? Because this is 8 over here. All right. Now we simplify it further a little bit before we take the other side as 0. Okay, so maximize profit, by the way, uh, will be the next step. But for now, profit is going to be, we have 40,000 p over here. Okay, and when we multiplied 8 into 800, it is 6,400. Okay, it is 6,400p because we got a p over here. Okay, so be very careful. Anyway, 40,000 p and 6,400p will give us 46,400p minus 800p square minus 3,20,000. Now, if I want to find out maximum profit, I have to differentiate with respect to respect to price. and I will get d pi by dp is equal to, this p becomes 1. Okay, so I'm writing 46,400. This p square becomes 2p. So it will be 2p in, okay, and it's a minus. Okay, so minus 2p into 800. And this is a constant, so we'll end up with 0. That's it. Okay, so we'll write minus 0. Right? And now uh, we effectively have a 0 on the right hand side. So we get 46,000. Okay, 400. I've added another and added an extra 0 over here by mistake. 46,400 minus 1600p is equal to 0. Okay, therefore I can say 1600p is equal to 46,400. Okay, and hopefully we'll get a smooth number by the time the dust settles here. 46,400 upon 1600, which is as good as saying 464 upon 16. And now I have 4 4s are, I have 4 1s are, 4 1s are, okay, and 4 6s are, yes. And accordingly, we have this cut. And now I can further say that 4 1s are, okay, and I think this is 29 because 100 upon 4 is 25 and 16 upon 4 is 4. So we should get 29 as our price. Okay, so therefore, uh, price, profit, profit, maximizing price is rupees rupees 29. But we still need to do quantity. And we know that quantity is equal to 40,000 minus 800p. Since quantity is equal to 40,000 minus 800p. Okay, and quantity therefore will be 40,000 minus 800 into 29. Okay, now 800 into 29 is a little messy, but we know that 800 into 30 is 24,000. And from that, we can subtract 800. Okay, so 24,000 will, instead of that, we'll get 23,200. Over here, we remain with 40,000. Okay, and subtracting gives us 17,000, gives us 16,800. Okay, we should end up with 16,800 as our quantity. All right, let me write it a little more clearly, 16,800. Now that we know that price is 29, we know, okay, maybe I can squeeze it in somewhere here. Okay, I know that price is 29 and I know that quantity is 16,800. Now let us see what all has been offered. Okay, so they're saying 20% of the revenue. Okay, so 20% of revenue, 20% of revenue, and we know that total revenue is equal to price into quantity, which is equal to 29. Okay, remember, we have our price as 29 and a quantity as 16,800. Okay, 16,800. And there doesn't seem to be any shortcut for us. If we want to calculate, we're going to have to do the hard way. Okay, so whatever, 16,800 into 29. Okay, 9 it's a 72, 2 carry 7, 9 sevens are, sorry, 9 6 are 54. Okay, plus 7 is 61, carry 6, 9 ones are 9, plus 6 is 150. Okay, 9 ones are 9, plus 6, okay, which is 15. And now we put this, okay, now this will be a little easier because 2 times table. Okay, I have 168, which I think will give me 336. Okay, like this, 002784. 482,700 should be our answer. Should be a, so we multiply it by 20%. Okay, so going back down, I am going to say that 20% of this revenue, 20% of 4,87,200, which makes you wonder, maybe I should have done into 20 by 100 in the starting only. It would have saved us some amount of effort, but no problem. 20% is as good as 1 by 5. Okay, so 4,87,200 upon 5 will give us 5 nines are 45, 5 sevens are 35, 5 fours are 20, 5 fours are 20, and 0, something like this. 97,440. 97,440 should be our answer. Should be our answer to this. Okay, 97,440. Now, we may as well do the math for 2 per album. Okay, but we cannot simply take this 2 and multiply it by this quantity, because this quantity assumes that the per unit cost of producing an album is 8. But now I would argue that it has become 10 if we are going to be selling, rupees 2 per album. Okay, so it's going to change some things inside our original set of equations. All right, what was our unit cost? This 8 now becomes 10. This 8 becomes 10. And I have no choice but to take this equation down, okay, and recalculate, keeping 8 instead of 10 as the number. Okay, so we know that profit. Okay, there is a formula where you can separately do marginal revenue and marginal cost also. You can do that. Either way, you're going to get the same answer. Profit is equal to uh, price into 40,000 minus 800 price. Okay, so P into 40,000 minus 800 P. Okay, and then going back up, minus 8 into, okay, and now will it be 8? It won't be 8, it will be 10. 10. Okay, remember, why 10? Because it is going to be 8 plus is 10. 40,000 minus 800 P. 40,000 minus 800 P. Okay, which is equal to 40,000 P minus 800 P square minus 4 lakh minus 8,000 P. Okay, and now look at the P's. I can add them up. Subtract actually 40,000 P. Okay, minus is plus. Okay, be very careful. I have to add only 40,000 plus 8,000 is 48,000 P. Okay, 48,000 P minus 800 P square minus 4 lakhs. Okay, and now I am going to differentiate with respect to P. Okay, so I get the pi by dP is equal to 48,000 minus 1600 P minus 0. And then I can say that, okay, 48,000 minus 1600 P is equal to 0, because this is after differentiation. Anyway, so 1600 over here, subtraction goes that side, it becomes addition. Okay, and we get 48,000 is equal to 1600 P. And now I take 1600 P over here, 48,000 over here, and we divide. P is equal to 48,000 on 1600. Okay, these two zeros get cancelled. 16 ones are 16 and 16 threes are. Okay. Therefore, I'm going to end up with P is equal to 30. Okay, so if P is equal to 30, if P is equal to 30, then what about Q? Q we know is 40,000 minus 800P. Q is equal to 40,000 minus 800P, which means it is equal to 40,000 minus 800 into 30, which is equal to 40,000 minus 24, 8 threes are 24, 1, 2, 3, which is equal to 16,000. Okay, so quantity is equal to 16,000, in which case only over here, quantity is equal to 16,000, and therefore the final answer will be 32,000, which looks very familiar to the next option. Okay, very similar to the next option. Now, let us look at our answers. Contract 1 yields the maximum. Yes, because contract 2 and 3 give us 32,000 each. And over here, we're getting 97,440. So, yes, contract 1 yields the highest payment. Contract B yields the highest payment. No, contract 2, huh? Contract 2, contract 3 are not the highest, but 2 and 3 are the same payment, and therefore your answers both A and D, which matches the marking scheme given by IIT. All right. Any doubts? Feel free to ask.